A lot of the people that live here have Cherokee ancestors and are all very proud of their Cherokee heritage. And Vinita is one of the oldest towns in the Cherokee Nation. I think the only one that's really older is Salina. The people at hand called it Downingville, and Downingville was named for one of the Cherokee chiefs named Downing, Lewis Downing. And a little bit later, here comes Elias Boudinot into the picture. He got him to change the name from Downingville to Vinita, and he named it after Lavinia Ream. She sculpted the Abraham Lincoln in the Capitol. At one time, Vinita was actually larger than Tulsa, and people would come up here to shop, coming on the railroad after 1881, because that's where it went to Claremore and went to Tulsa and then went on west. We had lots of prominent people that came and started building things, and that's how things got started. Well, the cattlemen needed the railroads to make their way on to the north, to the big markets. And Vinita had the railroad, so they started bringing them over here. That's how the Eastern Trails Museum got its name. It's because of the various cattle trails. We have all kinds of rural schools. We had bunches of them. They would have their own school and own teachers, and they'd be 15, 20 kids. There'd be a junior with a third grader, and it was all in one little building. We have a lot of old railroad equipment there, a lot of telegraph equipment, old locks, photos of the depot. Had you ever heard of the Harvey House? Harvey House was a chain started by Fred Harvey. It was a real fancy restaurant. People would get off and they'd stay here for a couple of days, and that's how a lot of the prominent guys wound up here. We have a display over here of the Battle of Cabin Creek, both battles. More or less, the Confederates were going to ambush the Union wagon trains coming down the military road from Fort Scott to Fort Gibson. One time, the Union fought them off, and the second time, $1.5 million worth of goods were stolen and given to the Confederacy at that time. One of the other prominent characters here about that time was Tom Buffington. He was mayor of Vinita 4 terms. He was a congressman, and in 1899, he was elected chief of the Cherokees. He was 6'6" and weighed over 300 pounds, so you couldn't miss him. He served well, and 120 years later, the next chief from Vinita was Chuck Hoskins Jr., almost to the day, 120 years. That was pretty cool. But right now, we're open 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week. And a special appointment will open up for other people at other times.